There is nothing like corona that will affect me because I know myself. In my family, we don't die premature death. So coronavirus is learning work.
Why I carry, I see I have face mask here. Why I have it? No, sir, some places you want to enter, like bank or whatever, say bring face mask. You get me? So I will not put it on. If not, I don't. This thing can suffocate somebody else, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't have time for that.
It's real. I'm not denying the fact that it's not real, but it's not as, it doesn't affect us the way it affects the Western world. If not, we'll all be dead by now.
It's real, yes.
So why you know your face mask?
I have my face mask in my pocket. I use it when I'm going to bank because, you know, on street, it always affects your breath. So I always put it, I have my face mask in my pocket. So I can easily put it on when I'm going to public places.
And from what is happening globally, you can see that this thing doesn't affect the black man the way it affects the white people. Maybe because of the nature of our immunity or because of the sunshine or whatever. I mean, this is another way for them to siphon money. That's the way I see it, as far as I'm concerned. Are you getting me? Because something, a pandemic, and in a country of 200 million people, only about 1,200 people died in about 8 months. You cannot call that in a pandemic. That is not a pandemic here. It may be in Europe or in America.
I don't think they should go ahead with the second phase of lockdown because there was never a lockdown in the first place. So you cannot say that you want to lock down again because it's just going to put the country in high tension and everybody will just start panicking and it will lead to more protests and riots. There might be government-imposed lockdown in major part of Abuja or in major part of Nigeria, but when you go to the locality, like the creeks, the villages and all that, they didn't observe and they don't observe any lockdown. Like Gwagwalada, for example, or Kuba, for example, they still go about their normal life, go to the markets and all that. So there was never really a lockdown.
It's not going to be good for us. Having seen that the first one was disastrous. Looking at the issue of palliatives and looking at the whole thing, you will see that the second lockdown, I believe that Nigerians will not accept it. And many will prefer that they better die with the disease than to die at home.
The condition where we are now, there's no money. As that first lockdown, there's no helping hand. We don't know how the second one will be. That's what people are afraid of. If not, if you have enough food at home, you can relax at your home. But now, talk of now that everybody is out to hustle, and you don't have anything at home, at hand. How do you make it? How do you meet up? You know, a lot of people collapse. The first one that got, they die due to the poverty. It's what we are talking of. If not, when they say sickness, don't have to run for it. I'm not saying that government is not taking the direct way, but they are taking a direct step. But what is that? How are they going to control masses in terms of feeding and other things?
I'm a teacher, a private school teacher. And you all know during the previous lockdown, most schools didn't pay their teachers. We all suffered that period. Many people died of hunger. So if the government go on another lockdown, it will not be funny at all. Why? Because most directors and proprietors are not ready to pay teachers' salary. So imagine us staying for another month again without being paid. So it's going to be very painful. Please, the government shouldn't go on another lockdown. They should allow us to work because they are not paying us anything.
From what I saw during the lockdown, the first phase of the lockdown, I think the government would drastically have faced through their responsibility. And I think by going for the second wave of lockdown, like I mentioned before, it's going to be like society infertility. People are angry. There's going to be an uprising.
As a whole, because I think we are in recession, and I'm a student. I also work in a school. I know how it affected me in the first time. It affected me all angles, and I will say, because I don't know what will happen. If for now it's a rumor, but if it happens, it will affect everyone.
Now, this second phase of lockdown, I think government should just find a way to do great things about it because we can't face what we faced before. We know that coronavirus is real. Yes, many people have died, and we have to take normal precaution about it so that in order to avoid something like this. But locking down, I think this period, I don't think is okay because people have suffered a lot.
The government should have this IQ, to have this sense. Go to the street just like you're doing. Get to find out the reactions of people. Because as I'm talking to you, a lot of people prefer an uprising if there's going to be any lockdown. Because one, there's nothing like government presence. Like I mentioned the issue of the palliative, for the vulnerables, rather people will have. They still have more. They still need more, but they don't have.
Not that the government is not trying. They are trying, but when they give them, they went and lock it inside room to their own house, be taking it every night to themselves. And masses are there suffering. Not the government is not released. Once they give them money, they went and share it to their own pockets. Some of them travel out and go and use that and suffering the poor masses.
So that means something is wrong somewhere. I get me that you're just using this thing now to look at the scandal after the first lockdown. NDDC, 6.something billion for palliative. They cannot account for it. And nobody's saying anything. Just like that, every other ministry, agencies, me, they use that thing as a gold mine. And that's what they are planning again to do. That's why they're saying second lockdown, second lockdown. Lockdown for what? What are they locking down?
You know, Nigeria, we like party. We like social gatherings. And we like Owambe. So it won't work. Because even if you do it, people will disobey it. The worst that will happen is that you start a fight and the government wants to start imposing lockdown and making it by force. It's just going to put the country in a high tension. So that's just it. So just leave things the way they are.
About 60 to 70% of Nigerians will not accept it. So I believe that if that happens, they may like to take law into their hands. I'm not a lawbreaker, but I'm speaking on behalf of what I can see in this country.
Currency, is it the Nigerian people's money? Is those people that you are doing Yahoo for?